I don't know any of my neighbours, and I've been living here for 20 years.
I only know the neighbours that live in front of me and next to me on my right and left. I don't know any of the other neighbours in my street. I had a burglary last week and the police didn't catch the robbers. I desperately wanted to warn my neighbours that the 3 burglars were still out there, but I didn't know any of them and I didn't have a quick way I could alert them.
I hadn't ever really thought about that, but you know what? I actually don't know many people in my road. I know Bob across the road, who I talk to now and again, but that's it. Sure, I didn't realise I didn't know anyone.
I'm sure many of you watching this video can relate to the neighbours you have just heard. Tim is also here to find out what NAYBERS.info is all about.
I can definitely relate, as we have all built huge walls and fences around our properties, and we have our security systems which we all need, but without even realising it, we have blocked ourselves off from our neighbours who offer us security awareness and support.
I'm going to talk to you about NAYBERS.info's 2 communication platforms. Firstly, our SMS system, called SMS Neighbors, and secondly, our website platform called www.naybers.info. They both work hand in hand and will enable you to start communicating effectively with your neighbours again through the high walls, gates and fences we have built.
Neighbours need to get to know each other today and to start communicating. It helps with security, as the police cannot be your neighbour for you. I support NAYBERS.info's 2 communication platforms. 1, SMS Neighbors, and 2, www.NAYBERSinfo website. Both are needed to help neighbours get to know each other and to improve security awareness. The system contributes to the SAPS philosophy of community policing by opening more communication channels, where it's a panic button but more. You know, it's a line of communication, it's a panic button, it's that reassurance, it's all those things clumped into one. And it makes our life easier, because how many times I've been on a road at a scene and people say to me, what happened down the road? You know, they've got no clue what happened one house away from them. Whereas this type of thing happens, it's not spreading paranoia, it's rather empowering, because knowledge is power. You know, the paranoia comes from unknown, whereas the empowering comes from knowledge. That communication can be spread between the neighbours instantly. There's not like a delay of trying to phone 15 different people and getting wires crossed. You know, was it ND 541 or 514? It's immediate information in your hand. You can be on holiday in Joburg and that information comes to you straight away. So you can phone your house sitter and say, listen, by the way, look out for red laser ND or such and such. You know, if no one gives a damn about their neighbour, you know, there could be strange cars coming out of that house emptying it all day. No one's going to report it because no one cares. It's that state of mind, that peace of mind that pulls everybody together, and it's a tool.
How does SMS Neighbors work?
Before I explain, please note that SMS Neighbors is not a panic button, a medical response unit, or an emergency response company. In an emergency situation, you must call these people first for help. SMS Neighbors is for you and your neighbours, so let's see how. SMS Neighbors can link the neighbours that live in your street or complex onto an SMS system. It is only the neighbours that have registered with SMS Neighbors in your street or complex that will be linked. You as a neighbour are able to type one text message on your cell phone, and your SMS will be sent to all your neighbours that have formed a group with SMS Neighbors in your street or complex instantly. The cost is only 250 Rand per cell number per year. You also receive a 1-month free trial. SMS Neighbors is used for messages you want to communicate quickly to your neighbours. These are a few of the many articles that have been written about SMS Neighbors in magazines and newspapers.
But Joe, how do you send one SMS message to your neighbours?
You will be emailed SMS Neighbors cell number when you register, that you will save as a contact on your cell phone. Step 1. Go to Create Message on your own cell phone. Step 2. Type in your 2-digit code first. You'll be emailed your 2-digit code when you register. Step 3, put a space after your 2-digit code. Step 4, type your message out after the space.
I will be away this weekend. If you see anyone in my garden, it is not garden services. Please call the police and notify me.
Send your SMS to SMS Neighbors number that is on your phone. Your message will then be sent to all the neighbours in your street or complex that have formed a group instantly. When your neighbours receive the message, they will see an SMS on their phone. And when they open up the SMS, your name and your house number will show up automatically. Firstly, your SMS is instant. So when you send your SMS to SMS Neighbors number that is on your phone, your message will go out to everybody instantly. SMS Neighbors does not stop your message. We don't get your message and then forward it onto your neighbours. It automatically goes to your neighbours at the time you send it. So if you send it at 12 o'clock at night, your neighbours will receive it at that time. So if you had to phone a list of neighbours, it would take longer than a day to get hold of everyone. If you had to create a group on your cell phone yourself to SMS everybody, your message would take longer to get out to everyone. If you email your neighbours, they're only going to get that message when they go into their mailbox and open their messages. Now that could be a week later or a month later if they're on holiday. Secondly, SMS Neighbors is cheaper because when you type your one text message and send it to SMS Neighbors and it goes out to all 10 people or 20 people, how many people in your group, you only pay for one SMS. You're not paying for each person to receive that SMS. So the traditional way that we communicate, if you had to create a group on your cell phone yourself and SMS everybody yourself, you're going to have to pay for each SMS that you send out. Or if you phone people on the telephone, you're also going to have to phone for every single call that you make. So SMS Neighbors is a lot cheaper. You're only paying, for example, 80 cents, whatever your network charges you, to communicate to, for example, 10 people. Thirdly, it is a remote system. So you can send and receive SMSs from anywhere in the world. Fourthly, SMS Neighbors make sure your group remains connected and therefore becomes sustainable. SMS Neighbors manages any change in cell numbers, so when you send your SMS, you know everyone will receive it. You don't have to phone a neighbour 10 times to realise that their number has changed. By that time, it's too late possibly to get a message to them. SMS Neighbors emails you an updated list of who your neighbours are that you are SMSing to in your group and when any new members join. Often groups fall apart because one member in the street has to do all of this administration work that we do and they don't have the time to do it. Fifthly, with SMS Neighbors, your group gets a sufficient number of SMSs. You get 200 SMSs to use as a group every year. If you're linked to 10 neighbours in your street and you send one SMS to SMS Neighbors number and it goes instantly out to all 10 neighbours, that message counts as one SMS, not 10 SMSs. So your group would therefore be left with 199 SMSs for the year. You can always call us if you would like to get more SMSs if your group reaches the limit before your year is finished. Please note, with over 100 streets on our system, not one of them have managed to reach the SMS limit yet.
So Joe, how does your other communication platform www.NAYBERS.info work?
www.NAYBERS.info is a free website for your neighbours to use to connect and share more detailed information that is not as urgent as an SMS, and your neighbours can go and read it in their own time. When you go to www.NAYBERS.info, you'll be requested to register your street or complex first, and then to access your neighbours online, you'll just need to log in with your username and your password. You can post a message to your street or complex under the column that says Neighbours. For example, thank you everyone for coming to the meeting. Please find attached the minutes. I look forward to your response. only the members in your street or complex will see that message that was posted. When you post a message, under the neighbours column, which is to your street or to your complex, all your neighbours will receive an email informing them that you have posted a message. Also, not only can you communicate or post a message to your street or complex, but we have a column there called the suburb column, and you can post a message to other neighbours in your suburb. If you volunteer to be a key member of your community with NAYBERS.info, when you post a message under the suburb section, an email will also be sent out to the whole suburb. You can share extra and more detailed information about yourself to share with your neighbours on the profile page. For example, you can share information such as your hobbies, your business occupation, the security company that you're with, your postal address, and you can upload a picture of yourself to share with your neighbours. Benefits of www.naybers.info. You can share extra information with your neighbours. You can post minutes of meetings. You can post the cost to join a service. You can share what you have learnt. You can organise a get-together or a street party. You can thank a neighbour. You can send condolences, and it enables you to build community.
SMS Neighbors and www.naybers.info is also great for existing committees such as neighbourhood watches, body corporates, community policing forums and farmers associations.
That's right, Tim. They can save money, have their database managed, and they have a more effective communication tool to share their information.
Okay, if I'm wanting to communicate with my neighbours, your system would definitely be the right way to do it. But why should we communicate with our neighbours at all?
Firstly, for security awareness. Security companies and police themselves have identified that neighbours provide a different element of security through communicating with each other and making each other aware. So they are urging neighbours to get to know each other and to communicate.
As policemen, we encourage neighbours to communicate, to encourage people to communicate with each other, and this is a good form of communication. Police haven't, got a very limited amount of eyes and ears and what have you.
If you experience a burglary or see somebody suspicious, or if you've gone away on holiday, you can inform your neighbours and alert them with just one SMS. For example, you can tap, "Just been robbed, they came through my window and they took my TV, watch out." Use www.naybers.info website the next day to share with your neighbours how the robbers gained entry, your security response time to that incident, what items were stolen, and what your neighbours can do to prevent it from happening to them. Secondly, when you decide to form a group with your neighbours, you become a support group for one another that you never had. Your group of neighbours can then come and assist you while you wait for the medics, who will take at least 10 minutes to get to you. Even if the neighbours in your group live at the other end of the street to you, they are still literally 2 minutes away to help you and are closer than anybody else.
If there are only 4 neighbors interested in a street or complex to start a support group, is it too small?
Not at all. If you had a support group of 20 neighbours, for example, you could send an SMS out to your 20 neighbours and you could get help from one of those neighbours. Whereas, you could have a support group of 4 people, like you say, and you could get support from 3 people.
You're right, Joe. 4 people is also better than no one and support you never had.
For example, you can tap, "Hi, my husband has had a heart attack. Please help me get him onto the bed while I wait for the medics." The next day, you can use www.naybers.info to thank those neighbours who assisted you. If your child or pet goes missing, the most likely place they will be is in your neighbour's yard. Printing out and having to put up a poster of your missing pet at your local grocery store or in your street is very time-consuming. For example, you can tap, "Sam, our black and white dog wearing a red collar has disappeared. Call me on 072 347 1555 if you have seen her." Fourthly, we encourage you to do social things with one another, as it will help you to get to know each other. With your neighbours, you can organise running clubs, lifts to rugby, lifts with the mums in your road to take your daughters or sons to school. You can organise bras and get-togethers. An example of an SMS you can type is, "Hi, I'm running at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Meet me at the guard hut if you can." And you could post a list of who must bring what for your bra on www.NAYBERS.info. Through communication with your neighbours, you can firstly identify problems. For example, there are too many burglaries taking place in your road. If you're not communicating with your neighbours, you can't identify the problems and everyone would think that nothing is happening. Secondly, you can send one SMS to organise a meeting. Thirdly, you can discuss solutions at the meeting and have your security companies and police there to give advice. Fourthly, you can then post a solution, discuss at the meeting on www.NAYBERS.info for everyone to see. Fifthly, the neighbours can respond to commit by viewing the costs online. And then sixthly, the solution can be implemented. You can also take immediate action without having to wait on other organisations.
So Joe, neighbours can take action straight away if a tree has fallen over in their road, for example?
Yes. With one SMS, you can type, "Please help, tree has fallen in my road. Let's meet here, house number 10, to remove it." Seventhly, you are made aware of your surroundings. As an extra service, SMS Neighbours will send you security-related incidences that have happened in other streets near you. So you'll receive information relating to the 4 closest streets around you. NAYBERS.info will send information that is of benefit to you via SMS or the website www.NAYBERS.info. An example of an SMS you could receive would be SMS NAYBERS.info. Power cuts in your area will take place from 5 to 8 p.m. on the 2nd of April.
So what is the NAYBERS.info Safety Group Action Plan?
Our easy 8-step action plan will give your group of neighbours step-by-step guidelines on how to keep your communication and group sustainable, identify issues of safety to reduce crime, decide on solutions and campaign events to take on, create strong relationships with security companies, keep neighbours active, set up regular meeting dates and building community. You can go to www.NAYBERS.info to download this action plan document.
Joe, can you sum up everything you've told us for the neighbours watching the presentation?
With NAYBERS.info, join SMS Neighbors for only 250 Rand per cell number per year. So it works out at an investment of around 21 Rand per month only for the year. You can join www.NAYBERS.info for free. You can implement our easy 8-step safety group action plan with your group of neighbours.
How do neighbours watching this presentation get a group started?
From our experience, your group will never start off with everyone in your street, as you'll never get everyone in your street to attend your meeting. There will always be neighbours who don't want to or can't make the meetings. It is the proactive neighbours who attend that will get it going first. So, if there are 4 interested neighbours watching this presentation, we encourage you to make a decision for your street or complex. Once you have a support group of 4 or 5 neighbours started, growing the group is very easy. The neighbours not watching the presentation will more likely join because there already is a group existing for them to join than if there was no group at all. So all you need to do is spread the word to your neighbours once you have got an existing group.
How do neighbours register with SMS Neighbours?
Fill out your registration form, fax your forms to SMS Neighbors. There's also an online registration form on our website, www.NAYBERS.info, which you can fill in and send through to us. 3 days after SMS Neighbors has received your form, SMS Neighbors will send you an email with your 2-digit code SMS Neighbors number to save as a contact on your phone so that you can communicate with everybody, and a list of the members that have joined in your group. At the end of the month, you'll be debited 250 Rand off your account, and the same time the following year until such time as you pull out. Please note, you get a 1 month free trial. So, if you pull out within your first month, you will be refunded. Therefore, there is no risk.
Can payment be made via EFT or cheque or cash if the neighbours do not like debit orders?
Yes, but please note, one person in your group will need to collect the money from everyone and pay the total amount on behalf of your group into our bank account before we activate you.
SMS Neighbors helps people firstly to get to know each other. You'll have people who've lived in the same road for 20 years. They've never met each other. And now suddenly you've got a channel of communication directly with that person and with every other person on the road who subscribes to this network. So it's that extra bit of reassurance that there's that network of communication taking place, but there's also that direct channel for help. I mean, you can think of elderly people. They got their cell phone around their neck, they slip in the bath, one SMS, 15 people can come help them.
Don't Stop Dreaming TV.
I still have a dream